Alright guys, no intro today. ICE is tracking you. They know where you sleep, they know where you shit. They may not be tracking you specifically, but it's a much bigger issue than you realize because they have the capability to do so. And for those of you thinking, why does this matter? Why does my privacy matter? Why does my data matter? I'm going to tell you. This isn't, oh, they're listening into my phone conversation about my matcha, and that's why I'm getting all these ads about my matcha. No, this isn't that. This is nowhere near that, and it's where this country is headed in terms of surveillance. There are several apps that ICE has been using in its mass deportation and obstruction of American privacy. These are the most recent apps that ICE has been using to track, identify, arrest, and now murder American citizens. Since 2003, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has been responsible for enforcing federal laws governing customs, trade, and immigration. Moreover, ICE was created from the parts of other existing entities. ICE was originally built as a remnant of the INS, the Immigration and Nationalization Service. The INS was previously under the Department of Justice, aka DOJ, where it had a law enforcement focus as befitting the sister agencies under its wing. Department of Homeland Security, however, has a far more warlike mentality, that of which filters through ICE. First, Fortify. Fortify is the facial recognition software and biometric surveillance tool ICE uses on a street level that pulls from a database with over 200 million photographs. Are you kidding? If stopped and asked for a passport or driver's license, agents will scan your face, and if you're not in the database, good fucking luck. Not only will facial photos be stored for up to 15 years, the tech is not accurate. In ICE's guidelines, they are supposed to check your passport or immigration info to accurately assess your citizenship, but in cases where people are incorrectly identified, they are forcibly detained. Holy shit, bro. I am quite literally reading off a script that I wrote for this video, and I can't believe it. I can't fucking believe it. Forcibly detained because their software doesn't work. Fucking joke, bro. Joke. These agents are able to point their smartphone camera at a person and run their face against their bank of images. Then they'll pull up their name, their date of birth, their nationality, and I hate using this term, their alien identification number, and whether an immigration judge has determined whether or not they should be deported from the country. Dave Mass is the director of investigations at the Electronic Frontier Foundation. That's where I've gotten a lot of this information from. They are a nonprofit organization dedicated to defending the civil liberties of people in the digital landscape. EFF and 404 Media are where I've gotten a lot of my information from, so I will drop their links in the description below. Dave Mass is quoted saying, "The more they streamline its use, the more they streamline its abuse. When an officer says, 'Papers, please,' you could choose to say nothing and face the consequences. With face recognition, your options are diminished." There have already been reports that federal agents are using these apps, like Fortify and the others that I will mention, to target people engaging in these First Amendment protected activities, i.e. protests. In an article about Fortify, EFF would state, while Mobile Fortify is the latest iteration of ICE's mobile FRT, face recognition tech, EFF has been tracking this type of technology for more than a decade. In 2013, we identified how a San Diego agency had distributed face recognition equipped phones to law enforcement agencies across the region. In 2019, EFF helped pass a law temporarily banning collecting biometric data with mobile devices, resulting in the program's cessation. The issue with Fortify, aside from its egregious impediment on our rights as citizens, is the fact that it has insane inconsistencies on identifying who the hell you actually are. According to 404 Media, ICE used the Fortify app on a detained woman in order to get her identity. 2 times they used this facial recognition software, and both times they came up with incorrect names, raising serious questions on the app that ICE is using to determine who should be removed from the United States. This next part is genuinely going to piss you off. ICE has told lawmakers that their mobile app Fortify provides a definitive determination of someone's immigration status and should be trusted over a birth certificate. It's not funny, but holy shit. I can't even express to you how angry I was just reading that for the first time. I genuinely can't. If you have any questions for me or anyone else about why your privacy matters, about why your data matters, get ready to carry your birth certificate, buddy. If you don't have it, they'll facial scan you, and if your face doesn't match up with what they have in their database, you're going to the gulag. Homeland Security Ranking Member Rep Bernie G. Thompson told 404 Media in a statement, ICE officials have told us that an apparent biometric match by Mobile Fortify is a definitive determination of a person's status, and that an ICE officer may ignore evidence of an American citizenship, including a birth certificate, if the app says the person is an alien. Oh my God. I have no idea where I'm at, bro. I feel like I'm going into psychosis. I literally feel like the Mr. Krabs meme when I'm just looking side to side right now. I have no idea where I am. In another piece of testimony, this time from an ICE deportation officer called DR in the court records, the judge asked, "What's the rate of identification with Mobile Fortify?" DR replied, I can't speak to that number." Really? You want to know the worst part of this? 404 Media acquired an internal DHS document under the Freedom of Information Act, which showed ICE does not let people decline to be scanned by Mobile Fortify. You cannot decline. Cannot. Are you fucking insane? This is literally one app. Let's keep going. So in terms of internet surveillance, agents are able to use two. One of which is a social media center tool called Tangles, and the other is a location center tool called Weblock. First, let's get into Weblock. Weblock gathers the locations of millions of phones, getting their data from data brokers. In an article from 404 Media, users can perform a single perimeter analysis to search a specific area for mobile phones across a certain time period. They can draw the target with a rectangle or circle or polygon and then select the maximum number of results the system should display. Anyone with access to this app can get details about a particular phone and its owner by seeing where else it has traveled. So basically, if you use the app to look at where the device was located at night, you can find a person's home. And say you were to use it during the day, you can find out where these people are working. It's a disgusting invasion of privacy, man. It's disgusting. ICE made a $2 million purchase for Cobweb Technologies' AI surveillance tool, Tangles. Tangles basically collects a person's post history, their comments, their location history, all of their posts and social media data. And then Penlink grabs this information and sells it to law enforcement. That way they don't require a warrant. Agents can then detect certain people's faces in an image and then add certain social media accounts based on how big of a threat they are to a watch list. Did somebody say Orwellian? I don't know. Did it get whispered? I don't know. I'm hearing things. But I mean, like, what is Penlink exactly? Well, Penlink is the company behind both Weblock and Tangles. They basically compile commercial data and they give access to ICE to use it. In 2023, Penlink acquired the parent company of both Weblock and Tangles, Cobweb Technologies. See how it's all connected now? Interesting enough is that in an article from Forbes, they state that the parent company of Facebook, which is Meta, in 2021 actually banned Cobwebs, which is actually the surveillance company or the parent company of Weblock and Tangles, from gathering information across its platforms. They found out that Cobwebs was using hundreds of accounts to snoop on Facebook and WhatsApp users, and a lot of these users were activists. Penlink also just so happens to be an Israeli-founded firm known for its AI-powered social media monitoring tools. But that's just a coincidence. I mean, I'm sure ICE has no connection to...
Then you should know that the ICE agents on your streets are trained by the IDF. A former US Army Green Beret and whistleblower just dropped some terrifying insights during an interview.
The IDF trains American police officers and ICE officers in Israel?
They train with US ICE, with US Homeland Security.
NYPD.
NYPD. And that's what's called through a SME program, subject matter exchange, where our police, etc., train with them.
Come on, guys. That's probably fake. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. This is all coincidence. Everything is fake. Nothing is real. What? No, this isn't true. Anyway, have any of you heard of ELITE? Enhanced Leads Identification and Targeting for Enforcement. ELITE is a targeting tool designed to improve capabilities for identifying and prioritizing high-value targets through advanced analytics. 404 Media would go on to state, Palantir is working on a tool for immigration and customs enforcement that populates a map with potential deportation targets, brings up a dossier on each person, and provides a confidence score on the person's current address. Keep in mind, their facial recognition software isn't accurate, and that takes a direct fucking picture of your face and examines it with their database. That's not accurate. 404 Media reports that this tool receives addresses from the Department of Health and Human Services, which includes Medicaid. Holy shit! We're fucked! ELITE has already been used by ICE to target specific areas. According to sworn testimony from an ICE official in Oregon, in October, immigration officers waited outside in 3 unmarked SUVs to make an arrest at an apartment complex in Woodburn. They went on to bust a driver's side window and pull out a 45-year-old woman from the window of the car, and then use ICE's facial recognition software on her, forcing her to be facially scanned into the database. Into the database you go. Into the database you go. Oh my God, bro. 404 Media purchased a transcript of a deportation officer with ICE's Fugitive Operations Unit, identified as JB, who said, "One of our apps is called ELITE, and so it tells you how many people are living in this area and what the likelihood of them actually being there is. Basically, it's a map of the United States. It's kind of like Google Maps. You're using Google Maps. Google Maps to hunt down people?" Palantir is actually a company that has worked with ICE for years, and they used to focus on criminal investigations with Homeland Security investigations. Trump rose to his second term, that changed, and Palantir now works with ICE on their deportation efforts. After researching, I have found an article from Wired that would highlight the dissent within Palantir as its own workers were observed questioning the company's ethics after the murder of Alex Preddy. These were internal Slack messages reviewed by Wired, and they reveal a frustration within Palantir over its relationship with DHS and its relationship with ICE enforcement. One worker stated, "Our involvement with ICE has been internally swept under the rug under Trump too much. We need an understanding of our involvement here." Another said, "Can Palantir put any pressure on ICE at all? I've read stories of folks rounded up who were seeking asylum with no order to leave the country, no criminal record, and consistently check in with authorities. Literally no reason to be rounded up. Surely we aren't helping do that." That's you! That's literally you, bro. That is all on your shoulders. Everybody at that company. These messages were reviewed by the team at Wired, and they were held in a company-wide Slack channel, which was dedicated to general world news coverage. Given this inner turmoil, I decided to look a bit deeper. On May 5th, 2025, NPR released an article with Palantir workers condemning the company for its work with the Trump administration and its deportation crusade. In a letter shared exclusively with NPR, the ex-Palantir workers, former software engineers, managers, and an employee who worked with the firm's privacy and civil liberties team say that when they joined the powerful tech company, they believed in its code of conduct, "Get out of my face," stating that its software should be protecting the vulnerable and ensure the responsible development of artificial intelligence. Are you on meth? The article goes on to state that Linda Zia, who was an engineer at Palantir from 2022 to 2024, she was one of the 13 former Palantir staffers who signed an open letter which was published in May, arguing that the company risked being complicit in authoritarianism by continuing to cooperate with Trump's administration. Basically, Palantir pulls from immigration records, IRS, private databases, compiles all this data in a smorgasbord in one place so that ICE can just search through it easily because they're fucking retards and they can't fucking put together anything. You would think that this is everything. This is every app that they have. Truly, they can't be more. Surely, Julian, there can't be more. There's no more apps. There's more apps. One common surveillance tactic of immigration officials is to just get physical access to your phone. So they just snatch that shit out of your hands, either at a border crossing or while you're under arrest. ICE has a contract with a company called Cellebrite. Cellebrite is a company that can just unlock a phone for ICE and just completely access to all your data. So they get an image of all of your data, your location, your text messages, your notes, your call logs, everything, your location history, everything. ICE's trucks are also equipped with something called cell site simulators, or stingrays. These are devices that masquerade as legitimate cell phone towers. So instead of connecting to an actual cell phone tower, it will connect to the cell site simulator. What that means is they can locate your cell phone with a greater accuracy than a phone company, and they actually don't need to get in contact with your phone company at all. These agents are using these features to intercept your communications and access your call logs. Not only that, but a reporter in their confidential source or a social media post with a controversial topic, which we've seen lately in Florida with the woman who was confronted by two law enforcement officials. If you have not seen that, Charlie, aka Penguin Zero, covered that in a video where these law enforcement officers went to this woman's house because she was talking bad about the mayor. You can't talk bad about mayors. We can't talk. What can we do? So why does your privacy matter if you still don't get it for some reason? Your First Amendment rights are under attack right now. And what I mean by that is that these forensic tools can expose whether or not a person was at a protest. Automatically, that makes you a threat. Automatically, that makes you a threat. Lastly, these forensic tools are an entirely new burden on people of color. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but people of color are often subject to traffic stops, sidewalk stops, whatever you may. Now with these forensic tools, it's almost like anywhere, anytime, any place you think you're in the comfort of your own home. This is an entirely new realm of not only surveillance, but intrusion on the American citizen and our lives as people. You're in danger. You're probably gonna watch this and be like, whatever, this kid, he doesn't even know what he's talking about, just saying things. What is this app? Blah blah blah, doobie doobie doobie. Brother, if we don't do something, we're genuinely fucked. Man, I'm smiling but I'm dying inside. The reason that I'm making this video is because I feel so helpless. There's not many things that I feel like I can do to help the public at large right now, and this is one of the things that I can do. I can keep people informed. I can let you know what these people are actually plotting behind the scenes, how they are tracking you, how they are using these tools to make your life a living hell for the people around you. If you care about your neighbors, if you care about whatever the hell you thought America was at one point, pay attention. Look around you. This isn't what you thought it was. Your privacy does matter. You should care. You need to care. Anyway, I'll see y'all. Peace.